Živio and good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel What I Know About. Today I will speak about Slovenia. I was supposed to talk about Slovenia when I was exactly in Ljubljana 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately the whole day it was rainy, so I decided to make the spot somewhere else. But let's get into it. So first we'll talk as usually about the basics. So the capital city of Slovenia is Ljubljana. It's particularly posed on the Balkan, even though some consider it as the Middle Europe. When we look at the flag of the Slovenia, we have three stripes there. It's a white, blue, and red. And we can see the Slovenian coat of armor, which is consisted from the triglav, which is the highest spot of the country, and the stars of the noble family from Celje. The religion here is Christianity, and because Slovenia is for, I believe, more than, how many years it is? 15 years, somewhere like that, member of the European Union, so you can pay with the euro there. They have their own language, which is Slovenian. For me, it's somewhere in the middle between Croatian and Czech language, so you can understand it, but not usually. For example, there was one souvenir shop that was called Základ Slovenia, and I was like, okay, so it would be about the basics, and then I realized I know that Základ is a treasure, so be careful what you hear and what you say. Getting to the history, actually Slovenia has quite a lot in common with Croatia. What's about the modern history, because they were together in the kingdom of Slovenians, Croats, and Serbs. Then they were together in the Yugoslavia, and actually Slovenia and Croatia claimed independence at the same day, and it was actually the 24th of June 1991. And actually Slovenia was on the luckiest part because they gone only through the 7-day war, but in Balkan the war lasted for more than 2 years, I believe. Nowadays Slovenia is part of the European Union and the Schengen, as I've already mentioned. What's about the geography of the country? Slovenia has access to the Adriatic Sea, but also its territory takes part on the Alps. So for example, you can find a skiing and snowboard center Rogla there. I remember there was a snowboarding championship there. It's famous for its Bled Lake, and actually even for the Triglavs National Park. What I have here then? Yes, about the cities. I know there's Kopar, Novo Mesto, Maribor, of course Ljubljana, there's Postojna. I actually have friends from Postojna, so grease them. And actually it's also known for the caves called Postojanska Jama, where should be living this animal. Yeah, it's called Olm. I've never been there, but I've actually heard about those caves from one Croatian comic, and it was pretty funny, but it didn't make me want to visit it. Then yes, of course, there's even a castle. I believe it's called Predjamski Grad, which is actually built by the entrance to the cave, and even the castle is built in the rock. And for example, the last season of Witcher was filmed there, so it's a castle from that serial. When we talk about the history, I remember that there was somebody called Erasmus Predjamski, hopefully, who was supposed to live there, but I don't know much about him. I mentioned these here. Another city, of course, Celje, because I mentioned actually the noble family from Celje. And when we speak about the capital, the Ljubljana, I've been there for like 2 days. First information, be careful if you decided to spend your evening at the train station hoping that it would be okay. They are closing it at 10 o'clock, so most probably you would have to wait outside, as I did. And yeah, it was just a fun fact. But about the city, there's a really beautiful castle which has its specific history. It's been really well renovated, and you can visit a cinema there where you can see the history of the whole city, but even the castle. It's talking also about the dragons who are the symbol of Ljubljana, so you can find them even on the bridges and so on. And I was looking about it, what I can find about it, and the dragons were originally supposed to be part of the coat of the armor and then became the symbol of Ljubljana, but I don't know much more about it, so feel free to correct me and add the information to the comments below. And yeah, they are those central part of river Ljubljanica. There are 3 bridges, therefore it's called Tromostovlje. And famous there is a skyscraper called Nebotečnik. They have famous squares. Actually, in the center itself, there's one bakery called Fetish Patisserie. I've been there twice. Every time I was in Ljubljana, and it's so delicious. So that's what I can recommend to you. Actually, when you decided to visit the castle of Ljubljana, you can go by walk, but there is also a funicular that can take you there. It's actually going from the markets, which are also really beautiful. Last year I've been there in the period of time when they were selling the flowers there and strawberries, and it was really beautiful. What do I have next there? Yes, I can talk about the music also, because when I worked on Krk in Croatia, a lot of the guests were from Slovenia. So when I speak about the songs, I know something like Čepelice and Volha za pomoć, and a song which is most probably inspired in Austria called Šaci from Pektari. Of course, I know those songs that are from the Eurovision Song Contest, as like the last year's Joker Out, Carpe Diem, the few years ago Hvala ne from Lea Sirk, and also this year's song Veronica. So we'll see how Slovenia will be doing. What's about the sports? I've already mentioned the skiing. They are also really good at ski jumps. And what I've learned about the words, I know that ice skating is drsanje, skiing is smučanje, and of course we can see even the Slovenian national team at biathlon. When we get to the culture of the country, I know like few famous people, which should be the president. I believe he has something to do with literature, but I'm not 100% sure. We all know the Gočar, and also Plečnik, who had something to do with the architecture of the Prague's castle. So here we go. I know that Slovenia took place in the Games Without Borders, which was my favorite show, let's say show. And I was looking for the name in Slovenian, and it should be Igre brez meja. Hopefully I said it right. And yeah, actually even Slovenian has their typical names. When I was thinking about this name, I was able to come up with names like Aljaž, Enej, Tadej, Janez, which is really famous, Tisa, Damjana, Melita, Nuša, Špelja, and so on. So these are Slovenian, so you know for like 99% that the person you're talking with is Slovenian when he has this name. Yeah, of course. When I was speaking about the Austria, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the Spanish riding school, and they are riding the Lipizzano, which is the white horse coming from the Slovenia. So now you know. And I would jump slightly back when I was talking about the Games Without Borders, and my last visit, which was shortly before Easter. In Slovenia, you can buy this thing called butarica, which is a traditional Easter decoration. And making the butarica was actually one of the games within the Games Without Borders. And yeah, with when I spoke about the families, I know from Slovenia, one of the families has one little girl, and she always, I mean, like the family says about her that she's Mička na punčka velik lum, which means that she's a little girl but a big badass, let's say, but in that cute version. Okay, it's nothing bad in that meaning.
And somewhere here, quite a really, really strong noises appeared, so you would not hear me. Therefore, I had to change the location.
And about the other words, I actually know that the font is a boy, and yeah, there was like Roja, Dush, and there would be many others. I've actually heard even few jokes on Slovenia because it's quite a small country. I have to mention this one. I hope that you won't hate me. It was like a joke that Slovenia won the competition about the cleanest country in Europe. And when the representatives are taking the reward, they are asking them, how comes that you were able to succeed to win this prize? And they were like, yeah, it's really easy. We just invite our cleaning lady and she comes and cleans the Slovenia for us once or twice a week. Sorry, don't hate me. And getting to the food, I know the krajinska kobasica, which is special kind of sausage, and also the laško beer. But last year I actually found out that there are two brands of beer. It should be Laško and Union, and actually the fans of those two beers are kind of competing each other. But I didn't taste both of them, so I cannot give you my review, unfortunately. Yes, when I think about what I know next about the Slovenia, it would be something that I've studied at university, which is the arbitration Slovenia against Croatia. I don't want to mention the political part of it, but just the thing is that the arbitration is about the access of Slovenia to the high seas. And yeah, the thing is that Croatia left the arbitration because of some, let's say, problems. Because one of the arbiters was in contact with the representatives of Slovenia, but still the arbitrary, let's say, court gave the parties their opinion, in which the Slovenia was supposed to become some kind of corridor or channel leading to the high seas. But now the problem is that Croatia don't think this is a mandatory ruling, and Slovenia does. So still the question is kind of opened. Yeah. And I'm afraid that would be all I know. So small country, short video. Sorry to say so, but I truly believe that you like this video and that you will help me to find more in the comments below. So as always, I would be really happy if you hit the subscribe button or if you follow me on the Instagram page of this channel, what.I.know.about. So that would be it. Thank you so much for watching and see you at the next episode.